Hello and welcome to Somerset Part 2, Common Ground. So, continuing off the last video, Somerset is a really divisive chapter in that the strategies between any percent and no out of bounds tend to differ quite drastically to the point that Somerset actually becomes, in my personal opinion, the hardest series of levels to run in no out of bounds. There's not really much here in terms of tricks and tactics, except for a few small things. For instance, the developers didn't exactly program this gate well, and you can do exactly what I just did. That's legal in every category. It's simply a sequence break, and that's that. You hit a checkpoint there, which for some reason isn't tied to the vehicle, so you kill yourself, and the game says, oh, you hit this checkpoint, you must have done these two towers, and it opens the gate and gives you back your vehicle. Again, that's fine in both categories, there's no issues there. The second gate, though, the way you get past it is exclusive to any percent. So I'll do the any percent way first, and then I'll talk about this level with no out of bounds. So always make sure you hit these steelheads. They are by far the most infuriating things. So the way you want to do this is you want to ram your vehicle into the... I gotta hide. You want to ram your Jeep into this gate, and then you want to get out right before the vehicle hits, because with a moving vehicle, what you do is you get out behind the vehicle so the vehicle can keep going. But if you get out right before it hits the wall, the way this game's collision works is you get out, Jeep backs into you, and you, who are in the air, get popped up, and you're able to get on top of the Jeep. And the Jeep's hitbox is actually tall enough to allow you to simply hop right over this fence. So the reason this doesn't work in any percent or in no out of bounds is because the checkpoint over here actually is tied to this gate being lifted, because you have to, this gate lifts, a dropship comes in and drops a I'm gonna call it a pod. I don't remember what they call it in game. And when the vehicle passes about here-ish, you get a checkpoint. So the way we do this is you walk over to this corner, and you see how I like wiggled and then I lodged in? Lodging in like that means I've made it in. There's a pretty significant notion of when you're in and when you're not that kind of comes with practice and experience. Damn. Knowing when you're in and when you're not. But once you start getting pops like this, then you know you're in. There's a couple things that can happen here. I've never done it, but another runner of this game has. It's actually possible to get enough height to go directly onto that rock. Another outcome is, when you get wedged like this, you're doing good, is this. You'll go inside this pillar. This is incorrect. When you're inside this pillar, you've gone too far to the left, and you have to get back out and start doing the attempts again. You have to be careful not to go too far, though, because if you get all the way out, you have to come back in. This is one of the few clips... okay, I got it. This is one of the few clips where I actually like to back out and jump in, because you don't get momentum from jumping, but it seems like the clip is easier to make in the air than on the ground. I tend to find myself never moving forward when I'm just pushing into it. The only thing you have to watch out for is you can get into this like cubby here, and if you do that, then you're stuck. The game's just gonna clip you down, you're gonna die. It's a terrible time loss. But once you're here, you're on the other side of an invisible wall. Simply hop over to climb up there, hop over to this side, and then you can just hop right on up this mount. Hop right on up. And this skipped the entire rest of the level. This is what you do in any percent. The end of the level is directly on the other side of that gate. But I want to talk about the new out of bounds category as well in this video, since there is a couple things to note that you can do here. As a small side note, if you run this game on Superhuman, make sure you take these leapers here very wide, like I just did, or you will take just way too much damage. So anyway, for this level, what you want to do is come here with about 4 hedgehogs. You can get away with less, but it's risky.
You know what to do.
Make sure you kill these guys, like I said. And then, oh god. Whatever weapon you get is pretty much the weapon you're stuck with. The back of these rooms is always a safe spot. In case you need health, ammo. So what you want to do is you want to come into each of these rooms one by one, because you don't have a choice. There's always 1 health up. Hit the switch and jump down like I just did. And your plan is to make this faster. I did not mean to throw that hedgehog. That's pretty bad. To make this faster, what you want to do is actually position Cartwright in the best possible spot, which is kind of up to you where that is, but you see where I'm getting him. That's a pretty good spot. Showing the hedgehogs like this, you want hedgehogs because they are extremely anti-personnel. They take out the entire room or weaken it really quickly. But what I was doing that the slow way. There is a faster way to do it that's a little bit more dangerous that I'll show you with this next set. Before I do that, there are 2 little things. Once you hit this gray rock, you can just drive up it. You do not actually need to go around that. And secondly, the same thing here. Once you hit this gray rock, if you come at it from the correct angle, you can come at it. So here, it may seem intuitive to want to go up straight towards those buildings over there. I'm pointing along. But that actually makes this a lot harder because most of the enemies are in that one. So when you go straight into that, you get bum rushed by every single enemy. What I like to do is actually come here, slow down if you have to, get around this tree, then come in like this. I know it seems a little odd because you're doing it backwards, but notice how just straight up empty this one is, to the point I didn't even need a hedgehog. So now we want to do this the faster way. Also, you don't need to reposition Cartwright there, because all the enemies will come out of this one and run right to Cartwright and you. The fast way to do this is to do what I just did, but do it with a hedgehog. And that will help significantly cut down on the amount of enemies. Actually, you see what I did? I put Cartwright in such a optimal position that every single enemy came out and Cartwright killed all of them. Making this, okay, except that guy right there, making that probably the best spot for Cartwright if you want to do it this way. Just make sure you actually hit these. There's nothing worse than hitting it or than thinking you hit it and moving on, finding out you have to go back to the tower. And then the thing to note is for this one, you want to hop out you want to make sure you hop over the wall and out towards Cartwright to save as much time as possible. Obviously, if you hop away, vehicle's faster than walking, so you want to make sure you do that. And then that's Somerset too. Common ground. I'll see you in the next one.